Today we will explain how to solve a pair of simultaneous equations by the substitution and by the elimination methods. Now, first of all, let's start by talking about the simultaneous equations. What do we mean by simultaneous equations? We mean that we have two equations or more with more than one variable, and we want to find for example, we have here two equations in two variables. So I have equation 1 with x and y, and equation 2 also in x and y. We want to find the x and y values that satisfy both equations. How we will do this? So I have the first example. I have 2x plus y is equal to 5 and x plus 3y is equal to 5. If I want to solve by the substitution method, I will look for a variable that has a coefficient equal to 1. So I have in equation number 1, I have the y. You know, the coefficient is the number which is next to the variable. So for example, 2x, the coefficient of x is 2. Y, since I don't have any number beside the y, the coefficient of y is 1. So in the first equation I have y has the coefficient of 1. So I write y in terms of x. In other words, I bring the 2x to the other side. Also, I have in equation 2 x has coefficient of 1. But as long as I found the y already, so I just use the y. So y will equal to 5 minus 2x. Why did I use the y? Because I found it in equation 1 and it has the coefficient of 1. In other words, the number that is multiplied by the y is 1. So which is not appearing, of course, because 1y is equal to y. So y is equal to 5 minus 2x. Then I take this 5 minus 2x and substitute it instead of the y in the second equation. So I take this y minus equal 5 minus 2x. I take it and put it instead of this y. I have now one equation in one variable, which is x. So solve for the other variable. So now let's just solve for x this equation. Now it became a linear equation. So now x plus 3 multiplied by 5, which is 15, minus, now 3 times 2x is 6x equal to 5. And then I keep the x's on one side and the numbers on the other side. So x minus 6x, so I will bring the positive 15 to the other side. So it will be 5 minus 15. Then x minus 6x, it will be negative 5x. So negative 5x is equal to 5 minus 15, which is negative 10. So x is equal to negative 10 over negative 5. So x is equal to 2. So now I take the x value and substitute it in the, for example, let's substitute it in the equation 1. So I write in 1. So now 2 times 2, because the x now is 2. So 2 times 2 plus y is 5. So now I solve for y. Now 2 times 2 will be 4. So 4 plus y is equal to 5. And then y equals 5 minus 4. And after that y is equal to 1. So I have y is equal to 1 and x is equal to 2. So I substitute and see. Now, the first equation was, now you don't need to show us your substitution, but you need to calculate it. Now, for example, the first equation, 2x plus y, I have the 2 as is 2 and the y is 1. So I multiply 2 times 2 plus 1. Is it equal to 5? Yes, so it is correct for equation 1. Then for equation 2, I substitute. The x is 2 and the y is 1. So 2 plus 3 times 1 Is it equal to 5? Yes, it is equal to 5. So I checked in both equations. So my solution is right. So x is 2 and y is 1. Now let's see another example. We will just do exactly the same steps. So again, I search for a variable that has a coefficient of 1. So I have here 3x plus y is equal to 10. So I can say, okay, I will use, this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. I will use the y in equation 1. So from equation 1, y equals 10 minus 3x. Then the next step is to substitute in the second equation. So substitute in equation 2 instead of the y. So it will be x minus, and then I use the 10 minus 3x equals 2. Then after that I expand and solve for x. So it will be x minus 10 plus 3x is equal to 2y plus, because this negative is multiplied by positive 10, so negative times positive, it will give me negative, and negative times negative will give me positive, and then I collect the x, the terms that contain x on one side. So I will have x plus 3x here, and bring the 10 to the other side, so it will be 2 plus 10. Then x plus 3x will give me 4x. Then 2 plus 10 is 12. So now 4x is equal to 12. I divide both sides by 4, or bring the 4 to the other side by division. So x will equal to 3. Then I found now the x. What will be my next step is to find the y. So I substitute in any of the equations the x value. So substitute, for example, in 1. Substitute in 1 to find the y. I will solve now for the y. So the equation 1 was 3x plus y equals 10. And then I substitute instead of the x 3. So 3 multiplied by 3 plus y is equal to 10. And then 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus y is equal to 10. And then I bring the 9 to the other side by subtraction, because it is positive. So y is equal to 10 minus 9. So y equals 1. So now I finished. I found the x and I found the y. What do I need to do in the last step? I need to check. I need to check whether these answers are really satisfying both equations or not. So I will take now the x, which is equal to 3, and the y, which is equal to 1, and I substitute in the first equation and check. Let us just do the steps of the substituting here. So 3 times 3 plus 1, this is the left hand side. Then 9, and this is the right hand side, was what? 10. So let's see, 9 plus 1, 10. Yes, 10 is equal to 10. So I am right. Now I substitute in the second equation. X minus y is equal to 2. Now the x is 3, the y is 1. So now I will, because I'm not really sure that they are equal to 2, so let me just put them as left hand side and right hand side. 3 minus 1, so 2. So yes, 2 is equal to 2. So my answers are right. Now let's solve now the simultaneous equations by elimination. And the elimination is a very important method, and it solves all types of simultaneous equations, because sometimes the substitution method, we need a variable that has a coefficient which is 1 so that it doesn't become so complicated. But for the elimination, we don't need that. Any two simultaneous equations will be easily solved by elimination. So now let's learn the elimination method. Okay, so 5x plus 2y is equal to 13, 2x plus 6y is equal to 26. I want now the coefficient of one of the variables in the first equation and in the second equation to be the same. So I have in the first equation the coefficient of x is 5, and in the second equation the coefficient of y is 2. And in the second equation I have the coefficient of x is 2 and the coefficient of y is 6. So the 5 and 2, they are not the same. 2 and 6, they are not the same. So what can I do? I can if I multiplied the first equation, all of it, by 3, I will not change the equation because I'm multiplying in the right hand side and on the left hand side. So I didn't change the equation. It is exactly the same. Multiplication, since you are multiplying the whole equation by the same number, it doesn't change the equation. I will have the coefficient of y will be 6 like the second equation. So this is what I will do. So I will have now 5x times 3 will give me 15x, plus now 2y times 3 will be 6y, 13 times 3 will be 39, then 2x plus 6y is equal to 26. Okay, perfect. So I have now 6y in the first equation. So let's call this equation 1 and this is equation 2. So now I have in equation 1 15x plus 6y equals 39, and in the second equation 2x plus 6y equals 26. The both equations have 6y and 6y. Okay, so what did I benefit from this? Now I can now eliminate the y from both equations. Now if I subtract the second equation from the first, in other words, if I multiplied the second equation by -1, I will have equation 1 as 15x plus 6y equals 39, and the second equation will be -2x minus 6y equal minus 26. Okay, again, so let's call this equation 3 and equation 4. What did I benefit from that? Now if I added both equations together, the variable y will be eliminated. It will not be there anymore because positive 6y minus 6y will give me 0. So let's now add both equations together. So 15 minus 2x will give me 13x, plus 6y minus 6y will be 0, so plus 0, equal 39 minus 26, which is equal to 13. So now I have 13x is equal to 13, and then I can divide both sides by 13. So 13x equals 13 over divide by 13 divided by 13. So x will equal to 1. And then again I have to do exactly what I did for the substitution method. I have to take now the x and substitute it in, for example, the first equation or in the second equation to get the y. So let's substitute it. For example, let's call this one equation A and this is equation B. So I will substitute it in equation A. Always use the original equations better than the equations that you used, that you got. So here, so 5x plus 2y is equal to 13. So in A, 5x plus 2y is equal to 13. Then 5 multiplied by 1 plus 2y is equal to 13, then I bring 5 times 1 is 5, so 5 plus 2y is equal to 13, and then I bring the 5 to the other side, so 2y is equal to 13 minus 5, and then 2y is equal to 8, and then divided by 2, which will give me y equals 4. And again, the last step is to check. I got x equal 1 and y equal 4. You don't need to show your teacher the checking, but you have to check so that you don't that your answers are right, because this is an easy question that you shouldn't lose marks on. Okay, you have to make sure that your answers are right. So we got the x as 1 and we got the y as 4, so let's substitute in both equations and check. So 5 times 1 plus 2 times 4, is the answer 13? Yes, so the equation 1 is right. Then 2 times 1 plus 6 times 4, is it equal to 26? Yes, perfect. So I got the correct answer. So now this ends our video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much. Have a great day.